we are officially live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of our recap team here. So, the Velvet Riot. That is, of course, the Eve Battle Girls of Riot Wrestling. My name is Mikey. I am half at BC WrestlePod, and joining me is my co-host and my partner in crime and an extraordinaire, Mr. Session Martha Benny is in the house. Hi, Benny.
Good evening. Greetings and salutations. Happy to be here and ready to talk about some Pro Wrestling Eve and TJPW. Let's get it.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited to talk about this one. This one's going to be really fun. A short and sweet show that was just excellent all around, as this is, setting us up to what is going to be going down in June at Eve 150, which has me really excited. And yeah, we shall get into all of that here in a little bit. But before we do, running through this intro really quick, y'all already know where you can find us going live almost every day of the week at this point. If you're looking for our social medias, just pick one and type in BC WrestlePod, where you will find us, as well as our report cards, clips of the lives, predictions, previews, all sorts of good stuff. It is a grand old time, and it is really, really fun to do. Of course, we also have some merch available at our store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And we have a coffee bot that will help us pay for all these streaming services and other things that we pay for. If you feel inclined to do so, please, you can donate. But if not, it is okay, because we know times are tough out here. And let me tell you, in this economy, we got to be stretching every penny. Alrighty. Now that I got out of the way, let's talk about why we're here. This is, according to my research and my notes, this is the second Eve and TJPW crossover in the company's history, which of course has our girls from Europe and Britain representing Eve, taking on some of the talent from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling (TJPW) in Japan. And this is a lot of fun. Out of the four TJPW talent that was on the show, I was very familiar with two of them. Miyu has always been popping up on any independent show, especially GCW, so she's always there. And of course, Shoko Nakajima has been popping up in Major League Wrestling, MLW, over the last year, and she is great, and I love her. But we also have some of our Eve girls represented here, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. So let's just jump straight in. So, the whole main premise of this entire show was to crown a number one contender to the Eve International Championship, which is currently being held by AEW's Cosmic Killer, Chris Statlander, Daddy, if you will. And the winner of this little tournament here will be going on to face Chris Statlander for that Eve International Championship at Eve 150, which is the big show. It is huge. It is a landmark. It is going to be crazy. And we'll get into all of that in a little bit. But let's just jump into what kicked things off for us this particular rendition of Eve as we get into our first match of the night, which is also our first match in this tournament, in which we have representing TJPW, we have Miss Shoko Nakajima, the biggest kaiju out there, which I love. And of course, she is taking on our girl representing Eve for this one, and also lovable little pint-sized energy is Miss Holly Barlow. So it's very, for me, I find this funny, but like in the best way possible, because Shoko is a tiny girl. And every time I've seen her fight in MLW, she's usually fighting women who are a lot bigger than her or taller than her. It was really nice to see her fight somebody who is just as tall and petite as her in Holly Barlow. We're far enough in because you only have to make it past like the 2-minute mark. But this match was fucking awesome. Oh my goodness. I love Shoko. I know what she can do and then some. But Miss Holly Barlow. Girl, I know you're a tag team champion, but ooh, this singles match though, I loved it. This was fantastic.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Like, I guess Harley Barlow, she gives like Powerpuff energy, you know? And I know she hasn't been around for that long, so that really played into this match, and I really like that. And that like anytime she was like a little overzealous and, like, trying to go for the win, Shoko Nakajima would just step out of the way and take advantage of that situation. I really like that, showing your veteran prowess, if you will.
I 100% agree with you, and honestly, this was really great, honestly. Oh my goodness, so what do I have in my notes? Honestly, this was just a good back and forth, and I love the energy that both of them gave, and you're absolutely correct when it comes to Holly Barlow. Like, she does remind me of Powerpuff Girl with all that energy and just it is fantastic to watch. I had a blast with this one. Yeah, this was 100% really fantastic, really fun back and forth. Shoko Nakajima would punch her ticket and win, and she would beat Holly Barlow, and she would move on to the finals happening later in the night. But damn, what an opener! This was fantastic. This was the right call to open up with this match and just give all that energy to us.
Oh, 100%. And when I had turned on the stream, this match was already in the ring, and they re-uploaded the full cut of the show with the entrances and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. But then again, I might have just missed the first half, the first 3 minutes. But yeah, a nice little opener. Not too long, about 12 minutes, I think. 12, 13 minutes, and they got the job done. And man, diving to the floor at the Penny Social looks like it sucks.
It really, really does. But this was a really fun opener. Shoko would just only get a few moments of rest before coming back later in the main event for the finals. And she would be waiting to see who she would face in that final, which we would get into next with our second match of the card, which is the second quote unquote semifinal match of this tournament in which you have the TJPW rep and the kick extraordinaire herself, Miss taking on one of my new personal faves now that we started watching Eve in Miss Alice Inc. Good God, when you talk about striker on striker, I was like, kicks for days. And I was clutching my invisible pearls as I was watching them kick their necks and heads off in this match. Because, good Lord, the feet were a fury and a fluttering for this one. Holy hell, Benny. Oh my God.
Ah, man. I can see where Alex Inc. gets her name. I first heard of her when she had lost to Mercedes for the body Scandinavian promotion there. But like I didn't see that match, so I was looking forward to her when I saw that she was on the Eve card. And boy did she not disappoint. This match was you know how like you always get that like forearm spot in every match ever now, right?
Mm,
They just replace the forearms with the kicks. Like
for reals.
and Alice made a mistake, and you can't make a mistake around Miyu Yamashita. So you capitalized, and man, this one was like, it was like over in like 8 minutes.
Honestly, I was like, not really, but like metaphorically peeking, covering my eyes and peeking through my hands with this one because this was just a good old fashioned brawl, honestly, just with kicks.
Exactly. And I paid good money to see round number 2.
Please, please, round number 2, 100%. Yes, please, more of all of this. I'm a like I already said, I'm a big fan of me, always have been since she appeared on my radar, like, the last year and a half or so. Again, thanks to my new indoctrination, if you will, into Eve and getting to see all the Eve talent, Alice Inc. is also coming out as one of my favorites as well, and my goodness, this was just a brawl, and I mean, Miyu Yamashita would end up winning, and you're absolutely right. She took advantage of just a minor, brief moment of a mess up from Alice Inc. for her to capitalize and move on to the finals, where it would be her and Miss Shoko Nakajima taking it into each other. And yeah, we would find out what would be that when we get to the finals. But my goodness, what a match, man. Holy crap.
Miyu is such a great bully. Like, and I could totally see why they saved Miyu and Shoko for the end. Whew, we'll get there, but woo boy, woo boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my thoughts on when we get to that one because I was just like, damn it, now I'm gonna have to watch another promotion as if I already don't watch enough of this. Oh, man. But this was a really good one. Miyu Yamashita would be facing Shoko Nakajima in the finals, but we would still have the remainder of the card to get through. So let's get into it, shall we? Because after this, we got a little bit of a burlesque performance, which I love to see. Let them eat cake is all I'll say. And then after our lovely, I broke Benny, I broke him. Yes, mission success.
Yeah.
And he's still going. Yes. Hey,
Yeah,
you know I'm right.
this is the direction that I wanna see wrestling go in anyways, because I see wrestling as a performance art, so
All wrestling every promotion needs drag queens and burlesque. Make it happen, y'all. Anyways, so after our lovely little burlesque performance and let them eat cake was, uttered, we get into our third match of the card, and good God, this one was so much fun. So you have Rio taking on TJPW's Hyper. I love the superhero. She wrestled with a whole cape and everything, and I was just like, "Yes, I love this." Normally, superhero gimmicks in wrestling can be hit or miss, but I was already on board with Hyper Miss I was like, "Give me more of this. I want to see more superheroes. I want to see her prop up more in my wrestling." And you mentioned it in the last match, Benny, but like when you want to talk about like having a wrestler be like a good bully, there's no better bully in Eve right now than Rio, man. She just plays that heel so good, and her brutality of what she does is fantastic to watch too. Because Hyper Val was doing everything she could, and she was being playful with it as well as trying to get over on Rio. But Rio was not having it at any point of this match. Also, by the way, Hyper Miss Out coming out in the hoopty bike. I was like, this match was so much fun. And then Rio just stealing the bike afterwards was also great as well.
I forgot about that.
She committed grand theft, bicycle arson, like larceny. Like, what is happening right now?
Petty arson is fine. Write it like you stole it. I digress. But Hyper Masao is like there's not enough superhero gimmicks in wrestling, and
Mhm.
I like that she's sort of like a Batman type of character, where she's sort of a vigilante, right? Like she'll do what's necessary for the situation, like gouge an eye or slam Rio's head up the steel steps, you know? But there was a really good cat and mouse game in this match. And as you said, like Hyper Masao coming out with the bike, she usually has like a giant like ramming rod on the front of her
Yeah.
so like her Batmobile. It's pretty great.
Quick to the Masamobile, and then like the Adam West like music cutaway.
Exactly.
The Batcave.
But Hyper Masao really fought to the bitter end, but she could not withstand the package pile driver because Riho is Riho, and she's easily one of my favorite heels right now because she's just a brute. She's just gonna shrug off everything you give her and give you back tenfold. I love it. Plus, the time.
I This was just fun. You continue to have Rio be dominant as we are building to whatever it seems like, whether it's whatever it is, like whether she's accompanying Alexis Falcon, if she's gonna come back and challenge Session off for the title, if she's gonna have, accompany Alexis who wants to get that title. There's a lot of we got a lot of time to get there because Rio is just fantastic and I love her and she's great. Hyper Miss, we're gonna have to watch TJPW now in whatever little free time I have and watch the shows because I'm like, darn it, this is just so much good stuff. Anywho, so Rio wins. She takes the hoopty bike and it was great, and I loved it. So, getting into the semi-main event of our show, originally scheduled, we were going to have the team of Eve's Lucy Sky and TJPW's Yuki Aino taking on our current and reigning Eve champion, Miss Session Moth Martina, and she was supposed to be teaming up with Emerson Jane. However, as Session Moth comes out for her entrance, she gets on the mic and she lets us know that Emerson Jane is unavailable, and you know what? She won't be here to be, team with her. But Session Moth does have friends, and she does call one out. And it's just like second verse, same as the first, because Alice Inc. comes back out to team with Session Moth. I'm like, good God, Alice, you just went through a hell of a match with Mio Yamashita. And now you gotta come, and now you're back out here for round two, girl. I was like, yes, get that time, get this ring in ring. So it would end up being Lucy Sky and Yuki Aino versus Session Moth and Alice Inc. in this tag team match. I love Yuki. She's great. I love her style. She's really cool. And just the way that her character plays off of like a bulldozer of Lucy Sky as well, who's just no nonsense. And she will take your head off if she thinks that you are getting in the way and not doing what you're supposed to. The dynamic was fun. And this was just another really great tag team match. Again, Session Moth is proving why she is our current Eve champion, and we love her for it. Alice Inc. pulling double duty this evening, which was fantastic to watch too. And overall, I like this match. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. Benny, how did we feel about this tag team match?
I was actually happily surprised to get a double dose of Alice Inc. and or a double shot of Alice Inc. I thought that Session Moth was real. I really like this new Session Moth because she's taking things a little bit more seriously, but she's still Session Moth. And so, like, Alice Inc. and Session Moth sorta took, like, the back seat to the story between Lucy Sky and Yuki, where, like, Yuki took a sip of Session Moth's drink at the beginning of the match and proceeded to go through all of the emotions, happy, sad, glad, and mad, and then she tags out to Lucy Sky, and Lucy just doesn't wanna tag her back in, so Yuki is sitting on the outside with a pouty face, and she finally tags herself back in, and then Lucy tries to use her as a weapon, and so she gets angry at Lucy eventually, and then just lets her get beat up for the win. Oh, such great stuff here.
Oh my goodness. Just again, the dichotomy between Lucy and Yuki is fantastic. The post-match stuff was fun too, because Lucy was ready to fight Yuki and she was ready to destroy her, but Alice and Session Moth come in to save her. And then Lucy Sky gets a 3-on-1 like post-match butt whooping for her troubles. And this was just a fun banter. I'm very excited to see what we have in store for Session Moth going into Eve 150. And again, more TJPW stuff is happening. Which, by the way, I have some news on that because I was grabbing a screen grab of our final match just to have it for our slideshow, and I noticed that Eve has put not only has not one, but not two, but like 3 different shows happening over the summer too, and I'm like, "Ooh, we gonna put that in the news. We're gonna talk about it at the very end." I forgot to upload it here, but I'm like, I have the picture on my phone. Alrighty. Well, speaking of which, let's get into our main event, shall we? Because it is the finals to crown the number 1 contender for the EVE International Championship, and my god, what a matchup. You have the biggest Kai Shoko Nakajima, who made her way into this final by beating Holly Barlow. And then you have her opponent, the kick meister herself, Miss Miyu Yamashita, who went through a hellacious match with Alice Inc. And now one of these women would walk out as the number 1 contender and would be facing Chris Statlander at Eve 150 coming up in June. Oh my god, this is Tokyo Joshi wrestling at its finest. And I was like, I need more.
Yeah, you know what I thought was really funny is because with you here in her first match against Holly Barlow, she was a little bit heat, right? Like because Lucy Holly's so well loved in Eve, and here she's straight baby face, and well, Miyu Yamashita, like she's gonna kick your head off. I can see why they saved this for the end because they clearly know each other inside and out. I think they even said that, like, their first TJPW match was against one another. So you can't go wrong with that kind of match, right? Like, because they already know what's coming before it comes. And you gotta love those kind of contests. And this one spilled out to the outside, and oh, that Avalanche DVD, right? Like that was gross. That was absolutely gross.
I tell you, Benny, when that happened, I literally got up out of my seat. And I was just like full on hands on the knees, staring at my screen. I'm like, oh my God, they actually did that. Okay.
Right? Oh my god. Oh, like, there was one point where, like, they're on the outside and Miyu had kicked Shoko, and Shoko, like, just without missing a beat, like, leaned into the camera and just grimaced, and I was like, "That was so great." Oh, man. They really brought something special here, and, oh, man, Miyu Yamashita versus Chris Statlander, talk about a dream match. Talk about a dream match.
And look at this graphic. I'm already excited just by staring at this picture. Like, God, we are about to have such a banger of a match in June. And I'm just like, I'm really hoping that because this show is happening at the beginning of June. I know that Eve is technically not part of the 4 companies involved with Forbidden Door, but like, let's just have the whole month of June for AEW for all of its talent to fight internationally against international promotions and talent too. Like, good God.
Yeah,
This ma
absolutely.
this match is
And
gonna rule.
oh, man, it's gonna rule so bad. Like, this gonna be one hard hitting To borrow a phrase, this is going to be a slobber knocker, lack of a better term, I guess. I really like Chris and Eve. Like, it gives her a little bit more time on the indies, and well, she's amazing anyway. So, but like, man, this match is going to friggin' rule.
No, I'm excited. This is the first match officially made for Eve 150, which I'm excited for. And yeah, we say goodnight from our little Eve, the House of Eve, if you will. And that is the Eve and TJPW crossover event. Well, Eve X TJPW 2 is the official title because it's the second time they've had the crossover. And this one was fun. It was short, sweet, to the point, had some really fun talent. I got exposed to Hyper Basau, who now I got to start watching more TJPW in my free time. So I'm like, now I got, I got internet friends to reach out to, be like, hey, so where's a good place to start with TJPW? There's a content creator who does a lot of like Japanese and Joshi wrestling and covers it on their channel and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, so friend, where can I start with TJPW? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer because I think it was the tournament that just passed not too long ago, the Princess tournament. So I was like, all right, well, it looks like I'm gonna watch the Grand Princess tournament now then. So we'll see how that goes. But like I mentioned, as I was grabbing the screen grab for our main event earlier today, I noticed that Eve has three different shows already lined up for the summer. So of course, on June 5th is going to be Eve 150. And coming up here shortly, well, yeah, so Eve 150 is going to be happening in June. Then we have Eve 151 at the beginning of July. Then Eve 152 at the beginning of August. But this last one has me interested, Benny, because Eve 153 scheduled for August 28th. 2026, which, if I remember correctly, I think it's the same day or the day after or before Wembley. So I'm like, I'm very curious because Eve 153 is titled Eve versus the World 2. I'm like, oh my God. I was just like, you
Yes.
are, oh God. I don't know. Seriously, Eve versus the World is like, all right, whoever did not make the all in Wembley card, we're going to send you all to Eve. I was like, yes, give me all the women across the world fighting the Eve girls. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, just when I thought I was like, oh, we have to wait. I don't know what's gonna happen during the summer. Girl, we got like 4 shows in the summer for Eve. So I was just like, we are booked and blessed, as the kids say.
Absolutely.
Lord, so we get to cover more Eve during the summer, and it makes me happy. But that is going to be it for our Velvet Riot post show. We are back to our normal schedule, kind of, the remainder of this week. Tomorrow night, we will be here for our AEW review, but it is going to be a 1 week only change of time where we will be here at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Because to be honest, I will be on a field trip and I'm not expected to be back until 6 p.m. Pacific, our normal start time. And so Benny has been nice enough to say, be like, hey, we can push it an hour. And he doesn't know this, but I cried tears of appreciation and joy because I did not want to do an AEW review post show. So we got some stuff to talk about tomorrow night. Then on Wednesday, you have NXT and CMLL. Thursday, we have Mystery Wrestling 25, the 3-year anniversary show. And thank God, love you, Evil Uno. But we get a break until the next one for Mystery Wrestling 26, which is happening in June. I was like, Uno, I love you. And I love covering Mystery Wrestling. But thank God we have covered 3 mystery wrestling events in the month of April alone. So we get a nice little break. So that's going down on Thursday. And then we're ending the week on Friday with our TNA post show. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. Benny and I are going to get up on out of here. But from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you tomorrow for our AEW post show. But until then, and until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.